Thank you for visiting the Coin Lady channel again. Now is the moment for XRP to shine. You know, I was just thinking about this earlier. There are a lot of experts that I like. It should come as no surprise that no one is ever completely correct. Doing otherwise would be irrational. Plus, you shouldn't be too harsh when someone is incorrect. I will tell you, though, that I know of a couple analysts that are strongly in favor of XRP. And they've been for a long time, and they've come right out and said it. They have huge XRP holdings. In contrast, XRP has received remarkably little attention in the past 2 months. Credible cryptocurrency on the blockchain is what I'm picturing at the moment. XRP is on their minds. Plus, they aren't doing it mindlessly. You know, they use charts to describe what's occurring on a macro level and where the activity is, you know. XRP is on their minds. And for what reason? Since they think the moment is right, and because XRP has had a brief run today, in case you missed it, I'll give you their thoughts and opinions on the matter. Bitcoin was leading the charge yesterday, and we had that enormous $6,000 sin. Got $6,000 in a frigging day, sinned. I did the maths and bought Bitcoin when its value was lower than it is now. Imagined in that light, success isn't that humorous, is it? Nevertheless, $6,000. It was nice to see XRP rise a little, but today it's doing considerably better. People are highly anticipating that it will keep doing that. In addition, I'd like to clarify a few points I made in a video yesterday. Overall, I'm more bullish than bearish, and there are only a handful of metrics that give me reason to be optimistic, leading me to believe that the rally is far from over, and that we haven't yet reached the peak. Because I'm not a TA guy, I'm referring to metrics generally rather than those pertaining to chart analysis. But like with nearly everything else, I take a look at it and it makes me think that being bullish here is a good idea, and that the markets will keep going higher. I'll share this with you so we can figure it out. Considering I touched on it briefly yesterday, I feel compelled to elaborate on the rationale behind my reservations. Just so we're clear, I don't come from a financial family or anything. Do not take my financial advice as gospel. You should also refrain from making any financial transactions based on my recommendations. As a hobby and for fun, I enjoy making films on YouTube regarding crypto-related subjects. I'm just an enthusiast. Right now, XRP is trading at 58.6 cents, with a 24-hour high of 59.5 cents. If most analysts are right, it won't be long until it reaches that level. Bitcoin is looking good today, with a price of $56,834, and many analysts predict that it will reach the 60s, and shortly after, the 70s. Even in the relatively near future, they predict that XRP will break $1 again, and it has been quite a while since it has. Many individuals lack the capital to invest, and that others claim the increase in Bitcoin value is due to institutional purchases rather than retail purchases. This very second, Bitcoin, etc., hasn't been the subject of many Google queries. At these values, do you believe Bitcoin would still exist? Assuming the ETFs were rejected. The question is well posed. Plus, I've already brought those up in my most recent vids. Looking at Bitcoin search volume on Google, you'll see that it has been declining for the past week, but here we are. Everything is going according to plan with Bitcoin, but suddenly it's raging upwards, and everyone is wondering what's going on. Yeah, that's out of the ordinary. What else did you say while you were here? Yeah, I see. For that matter, who is purchasing? Are you saying that you can see the source of the funds? I'll share this with you. Say, Coinbase. The amount of people using the service has decreased by 85% since I last checked a week ago. From the highs of the last cycle. 85%. Prices are this exorbitant, and retail isn't even here. Brian Monique, you asked a fantastic question. And this is the response we got from trustworthy crypto. Retail influxes like this, reaching new all-time highs, are par for the course. Indeed, even at the most eminent levels of history, supply was limited. There would have been other options for ETFs, if that hadn't been the case. What started the fire was the ETFs. The stage was set, though, because the logs were already drenched in kerosene. I keep mentioning things like, these are some of the things that I look at, and it tells me hope this is the high for Bitcoin, because until then, everything you say there is certainly true, and I respect his perspective. Wow, this is very bizarre. Nothing like this has ever occurred in recorded history. That being the case, things would be different this time around. There is simply no joy. The peak remains at this level, though. And that's it. For the simple reason that, barring a black swan event, I find it difficult to believe it to be true. I do, however, recognize the possibility. It is possible that the bears are right here. I replied to the post using a trustworthy cryptocurrency, anyway. In a way, this clarifies my worries about this. So I said, I'm really interested in hearing your thoughts on something that I think is vital for trustworthy cryptocurrency. Is the stock market really doing better than it seems? If so, what are your thoughts on the matter? Without a doubt, the DJIA and the Nasdaq 500 lots of new highs this year, but the market as a whole isn't growing, and only a small number of companies are responsible for them. Indeed, tens of thousands of workers have been laid off by several large corporations. Among these businesses include BlackRock, Nike, Amazon, eBay, Microsoft, Salesforce, iRobot, UPS, PayPal, Snap, Cisco, Paramount, Estée Lauder, and a seemingly endless list of others. However, the point is made. Is it reasonable to be worried, considering that cryptocurrency price spikes have always coincided with stock market gains? On the other hand, what if the stock market doesn't expand at all and crypto and stocks still reach new all-time highs? We can learn from history that crypto fails to reach new heights in the absence of widespread expansion. I would greatly appreciate any thoughts or viewpoints you would be so kind as to provide. In my opinion, that is basically it, guys. Yes, we're far from the high, according to nearly all of the metrics I've looked at. So, even while the majority of data don't show that we're close to the peak, there are a couple that really worry me. I am patiently waiting for these. That's why I'd have to twist my arm to guess. I understand. I suppose they are new all-time highs. If this weren't the case, though, my conviction may be greater. I present to you the following in reply to that. Crypto spoke. And I am grateful that he spoke with me at length. He explained that he does not currently have any money invested in technology since, in his opinion, the SPX S&P 500 is currently experiencing the last stages of a secular boom cycle that has lasted for 10 years and is a tech bubble that will eventually bust. We are aware that bubbles were present at the summit. Irrational price increases, widespread elation, etc., precede the fall. Many of the current stock market trends, such as Nvidia, etc. I won't attempt to time the correction, because we know these pre-bubble, parabolic increases can continue for an indefinite amount of time. Traditional markets are overdue for a big crash or correction, nevertheless. Since the COVID fall, tech stocks and cryptocurrency have been highly correlated. Having said that, I do not think a correlation always indicates a causal relationship. Even if one market isn't directly impacting the other, there will be a correlation between them as they are both experiencing secular bull cycles, which crypto has been from the beginning. Do you think it's a coincidence that traditional markets are also approaching their own blow-off top, and that my decades-long secular bull on crypto will expire after this next blow-off high? Ultimately, I will likely evaluate each market separately. Nonetheless, I believe that big crashes do, and will happen following the blow-off tops in both instances. Finally, that's all. It appears he doesn't care that most companies aren't growing, when analyzing stock prices. And I really hope he's correct, he could be. He has my utmost hope. However, there is something that the blockchain supporter, for instance, has strongly criticized. And thus, I will wait to see what transpires, but not even he is kidding me. Have you, for example, perused the Russell 2000? As of late, it isn't doing so well, and I'm not even kidding. Now, the Russell 2000 has briefly overtaken the S&P 500 on occasion. Also, it's possible to complete it in 10 or 12 months, but that's not the usual. In short, those are the main things that would worry me. Trustworthy cryptocurrency appears to be under the impression that it will have no effect. The video ends there. I would greatly appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel and give it a like. Muchas gracias, depart.